Well, talk to me, Gary. You're a Queenslander on this mess out of Queensland. There's a hullabaloo about the PCR test. The game's being played by Annastacia Palaszczuk. She was caught out. Greg Hunt pushed her hard on this. There's been a bit of a back down today on her side. She still wants to blame the feds. Look, we've got to get past these border politics and just open up the country for Christmas, don't we?
I would have thought so, and given that Queensland is so reliant on interstate visitors, surely you'd want to frame certainty around that. And Peter, here's the other point. How do you actually get people to service hotel rooms in far north Queensland, in central Queensland, in the Mackay, Whitsundays area, let alone Brisbane and the Gold Coast and Sunshine Coast? Because you can't get it just from the Queensland population. You need people interstate. There are people in Victoria, in South Australia, in New South Wales who normally take those roles on during this peak season, and they can't come here easily. The Premier, I thought, lost me and lost the room. I mean, not that I'm a supporter of hers, but Palaszczuk lost me completely yesterday when she said day trips to Sydney are off. Now, a regular thing is the 7 o'clock flight out of Brisbane, chockers of business people going to do a day in Sydney and fly back later in the afternoon to have tea at home with their family. That is not an unusual event out of southeast Queensland. 50-minute flight, 45, 50 minutes plus, getting in and out of the aircraft. Melbourne as well, but the Premier said forget all of that. So in other words, she's actually beggaring up business. She's actually stopping people providing any certainty or having the certainty they need to make basic decisions. She's mad. She's gone completely bonkers.
All right, I want to go to an issue that's blowing up in your neck of the woods, Chris, in Sydney. Liberal member for Wentworth, Dave SHARMA. We know he took the seat over after Karen Phelps took the seat from Malcolm Turnbull. He said he's welcomed a challenge from the daughter of fashion icon Carla Zampatti, who will run on a pro-climate platform at the next election in his seat. Now, she's been selected by the Wentworth Independents, so-called independents. Goodness me, I don't know that they will be that independent, but there's linkages there to get up in the past. What do you think?
Oh, isn't it what? Maybe Allegra should have simply joined the Greens and made it quite clear and obvious and got on with it and stopped trying to shroud who she really belongs to by calling herself an independent.
Exactly.
Look, I have a feeling, though, that she'll get some sympathy with where she's going about more ambitious targeting for 2030, because the whole thing about being green nowadays and looking to save the planet by reducing carbon comes in all different flavours and sizes and wealth status. And a lot of those people in Wentworth wouldn't think they'd lose their job if it came down to having a more ambitious target and lowering or reducing carbon output. And maybe they've probably got too many assets to worry about it anyway. So who knows? Bring the fight on. Someone said, the climate wars are almost over. No, they're not. They've only just begun.
Do you think it'll take much bark off the Liberal Party? Yeah, Gary, do you think it'll take much bark? I mean, remember, in the Howard years, there was that mob, Liberals for Forests, I think they were, that took a shine off some seats in WA in particular. How do you think this will go more broadly on the eastern seaboard?
Well, the great Larry Anthony lost the seat of Richmond in 2004 off the back of Liberals for Forest, if I remember rightly. He was there for 3 terms, not the full 4 terms of the Howard government. And I think it was because a lot of people in Richmond, that area around Tweed Heads, they were actually looking to vote Liberal rather than National. But anyway, that's another story for another day. Look, the confusion factor is going to be there. But if this woman believes that she is onto something, go and stand in a Western Sydney seat. Go and challenge somebody in one of those Labor strongholds. Go into McMahon or one of those sorts of seats. Go and actually put your case there. And I tell you what, she won't. She's just looking for a cheap shot go at a Liberal incumbent, and SHARMA can welcome it for all he likes, but until the government gets real about targeting the fact that if you get elbowed, what you've really got are the Greens and their nasty, extremist, international, communist-inspired agenda, because it's all about wealth redistribution. And the people in those nice suburbs around Wentworth might think they're going to be out of any sort of touch out of that. But I think if they vote that way, they're going to get what they didn't want.